Let's dive into the fascinating world of human behavior, where 93% of communication happens without words. Yes, you heard it right. Your gestures, facial expressions, and even pauses in conversation can reveal more about you than you think. And that's not all. In a fraction of a second, your counterpart decides whether to trust you or not. But don't jump to conclusions, because one bad apple in the team can completely change the dynamics and reduce productivity. Sounds interesting? Then get ready to learn even more astonishing facts that will make you rethink your perspective on everyday things. Fact 1. 93% of communication is nonverbal. Forget about words. In reality, 93% of all our communication occurs at the level of nonverbal signals. It's like a whole new language that we all speak, but rarely realize. Your gestures, gaze, even your gait can give you away. Interestingly, it's thanks to these nonverbal clues that we often make judgments about people even before they open their mouths. It's like a silent dialogue between your subconscious levels that can tell more than 1,000 words. So the next time you go for an important interview or date, remember, your body is already speaking for you. Fact 2. People make trust decisions in 1/10 of a second. Do you believe in love at first sight? How about trust at first sight? Research shows that it takes us just 1/10 of a second to decide whether we can trust a person. That's faster than the blink of an eye. At that moment, your brain scans your counterpart, analyzing everything from facial expressions to gestures. This intuitive gut feeling is so strong that it can determine the outcome of relationships, negotiations, or even business deals. So the next time you meet someone new, remember, your brain has already made its choice. Fact 3. The bad apple effect. One negative team member can reduce the productivity of the entire team. Ever noticed how one negative person can infect the whole team? This is called the bad apple effect, and its impact on productivity is astonishing. One person with a bad mood or negative attitude can lower the effectiveness of the entire group, like dominoes. It's not just anecdotes. Research confirms that negative energy spreads faster than fire. So if you want to keep your team in good shape, pay attention to the bad apples. They can cost you not just a good mood, but a successful project as well. Fact 4. People tend to overestimate their abilities. Dunning-Kruger Effect. When was the last time you felt like an expert in something without actually having deep knowledge? This phenomenon is known as the Dunning-Kruger Effect, and it's something each of us encounters. Interestingly, the less we know, the more confident we are in our abilities. It's like swimming in shallow water and thinking you're a shark in the ocean. But here's the catch. It can be dangerous, especially if you're in an important position. So the next time you feel too smart, think again. Maybe it's just your brain playing tricks on you. Fact 5. The average person speaks 7,000 words a day. You know what's amazing? The average person utters about 7,000 words every day. It's like a small novel that we write in real time, every day. But what do these words really mean? They can be simple greetings, deep reflections, or even random thoughts. Interestingly, some studies show that women tend to speak more words per day than men. But regardless of gender, every word has weight. They can change the mood, evoke emotions, and even alter the course of history. So think before you speak. Fact 6. The color red can increase aggression levels. The color red is not just a shade on the palette. It can genuinely affect your behavior, making you more aggressive. Imagine you're in the gym and the walls are painted red. Your punches become stronger, your focus increases. It's not a coincidence. Research shows that the color red stimulates adrenaline production. This can be useful in sports, but in other situations, like driving, it can be dangerous. So if you notice you're becoming more aggressive, check if there's any red around. Fact 7. People tend to mimic others' behavior, mirror effect. Ever notice how you start yawning when someone nearby yawns? It's not just a coincidence, it's the mirror effect in action. We subconsciously mimic gestures, facial expressions, and even emotions of other people. It's a kind of social glue that helps us better connect with those around us. But it can be a double-edged sword. If you're surrounded by positive people, you feel better. If someone negative is near you, your mood can also worsen. So choose your company carefully. Fact 8. People better remember the first and last information in a list. Serial position effect. Ever noticed that it's easiest to remember the beginning and end of a shopping list, but the middle somehow gets lost? It's not your fault. It's the serial position effect in action. Our brain is wired to best remember the first and last information it receives. This can be useful in interviews, exams, or even relationships. If you want to make an impression, start and finish strong. This fact could be your secret weapon in any situation. Fact 9. People lie more often over the phone than in written or face-to-face communication. Forget the stereotype that people lie while looking you in the eye. In reality, most lying happens over the phone. Yes, that's right. For some reason, when we can't see the other person, it feels easier to lie. This may be related to the absence of non-verbal cues that usually give away our lies. So the next time someone tells you something over the phone, you might want to double-check that information. This fact could change your approach to phone conversations. Fact 10. People tend to avoid uncertainty, status quo bias. How often do you choose the tried and true path, avoiding the unknown? It's not just your individual trait, it's human nature. The status quo bias states that we, as people, prefer to avoid change and stick to what we already know. It's a kind of psychological safety net against potential risks. But remember, sometimes the unknown can bring the greatest rewards. So maybe it's time to step out of your comfort zone. And here we come to the end of our fascinating journey through the world of human behavior. From nonverbal communication to our tendency to avoid uncertainty, these facts reveal the astonishing complexity and depth of our psyche. I hope this information not only surprised you, but also made you think about your own habits and behavior. After all, understanding oneself is the first step to a better version of yourself. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time.